boom.
Killed the baby on the way over here.
Got Matt to come play with us, and then went through rotations of guitar players and piano players and organ players and
like probably about a dozen guys almost, really honestly.
And about 8 months ago we got this lineup together, and it's the one we sticking with.
Became the Dirty Names. More, I mean, in Annapolis there hasn't really been any spillover of the scene, but you know, New York has been really good to us. Baltimore, we play Baltimore quite often too, but you know, we've been finding a really good scene in New York, which honestly I think we found a lot of people here with connections to there more so than Baltimore sometimes.
Oh, like hardcore oriented.
There's also kind of an underground thing that where there's like these like warehouse shows that are just real gritty, like
balls to the wall, yeah.
Gritty, yeah, balls to the wall. Like 2 people in the band, maybe or 15 people in the band, and they're just making a bunch of noise and real cool shit.
We can all agree, you know, we all have a fond love of rock and roll and just soul music, just, you know, anything from the Stax Vault, Chess Records, all that stuff.
And then you go take it further back into the blues and further back into the band. And
we just all love great old, you know, we all have a love for good music, which happens to be old, and we find, you know, most of the popular music in this day and age is not to be that good. It's too perfect.
It's like there's no character, there's no soul in the music. It's just kind of like, hey, we put it all together. It's all computers. It's like we want to bring it back to where it's like.
So where you can repeat the same thing every night and still have it be different.
Yeah, but like give it that.
Give it some character each night.
You just gotta know. When we started out, we were thinking like, you know, who are the people that we like, whether it's today or 10 years ago or 20 years ago, that are doing things, and what is it that we like about them? And it's because, you know, they're paying homage and they're studying from the same schools that we're trying to study from. So we went, you know, to the drawing board and we're like, well, we have to learn how to play this way. We have to listen to this music, and we have to study playing this way and do how they did and build on that, you know. And it's really like, if music as itself, you know, that's the way it's happened, especially in America. You know, American music is that melting pot of like country and, you know, like blues and R&B. So we're trying to basically go back to those roots and then take it to the next step, wherever that may be.
Which is with the music we play is really, you know, it's a fine line where, you know, you want to be taken from the past, and you want to get as good as you can at you know, recreating that, but you can't. I think for all 5 of us, regardless of whether we were in a band with each other, we'd be living the rock and roll lifestyle. It's fortunate that we have somebody to.
And it's alive and well, man. People still eat it up. You know, there may be wheatgrass juice and, you know, smoothie places, but, you know, it's still alive and well. The rock and roll attitude, people are still hungry for it. They still want it, whether or not people are giving it to them, which is perfect opportunity for us to come in and give them a dose of it, you know?
Badass. This is what it is. You walk in and you're a badass, you play some badass music. I mean, people are going to be drawn to it because there's something different about it, but it's something familiar at the same time that they've been waiting for. So much, like, here you are, we're going to play this music, and we're going to do it.
We're going to let loose.
Yeah, we're going to let loose.
You know, you show up and people want to be entertained, they want to have that experience, and no matter what, as long as people are willing to walk through a door and pay money, you know, this kind of music will, you know, will always last. You can't, you know, digitize that experience.
It's like the old honky tonks where, you know, before you got satellite radio blasting the music at a bar or something, you know, you walk in and there's a guy in the corner. And he's playing an old, what is it, a tonk? Tonk piano. There's the old tonk pianos. That's where they got the honky tonk from. So this guy's sitting in there playing his piano, and that's when everybody starts to feed off of it. And it's not, you know, they're not listening to the top 10s that are playing, you know. They got, there's this little, you know, there's no honky tonks anymore, but like you said, as long as people still want to put down their money and come in and see a live show, that environment, that atmosphere is going to be important. Really, I mean, that's just the honest truth.
Who else will we sing to?
You know, because from what we found, if you can get a girl to like what you're doing, you know, we're not singing songs about, like, you know, you're a bitch and I'm going to, well, yeah, no, we're not doing it. We're not singing. These are all positive, you know, come on. One of the songs is called Don't Try Making a Move. It's a song about a girl who, you know, every Friday night she loves going out because she's, you know, done working or whatever, and she loves to go out and she loves to dance. She's not looking for any, you know, any guy to sneak up on her and try to, you know, put his arm around her. She doesn't want any of that. She's just, you know, the lyric is sometimes a girl just needs to dance. It's true, and there ain't nothing for a young man to do. You know, just stay away from it. These are the songs we're trying to write because we found if you're singing to the girl and they like it, the guy isn't gonna follow, you know. It's true.
But then we got songs like Saltwater Jackie, where it's really about like maybe a specific person whom we've met, and it just sparks. You know, we're like, man, we gotta write a song about that girl. You know, and some people just exude that sexuality and like. Well, it really is a girl that we worked with at a bar, and she's just you know.
She's got it in all the right places.
Exactly, and it's loosely based on her, but it's sort of about this girl who you know is very sexual, and you know likes to make it known, you know, and it's kind of paying homage to that girl, you know, because as a guy, we appreciate it. Definitely. Well, let somebody else say something, and I'll go afterwards.
Took that through.
I think, I mean, music, as far as like speaking of sexuality, I mean, drawing from a lot of blues and R&B influence, it's always been coming from the sexuality. Blues is sex. I mean, it's about that, and it's about being down about that, or perhaps just celebrating that. Not necessarily always been accepted as a, so you say, like commercial thing until, you know, rock and roll. And then rock and roll is like, oh, that's what it is. It's about having fun and speaking to what's going on between, you know, the two sexes, and it's all right.
We only play a daytime gig every so often, but most of the time you're playing and there's booze and it's dark out and there's women, and when you're done with the show, there's everybody, whether it's guys in the band or people out there. I mean, people are going to going home, you know, and they're already thinking it. We're just fucking saying what they're.
Respect, because a lot of us have known each other. Some of us have known each other for a real long time. Some of us are like John.
I'm the
we
new
just
guy.
got him about 8 months ago, pretty much. He moved up here from North Carolina, but you know, we make a very serious point to create that environment. Hopefully, you know, and we're not perfect at it all the time.
It's not easy.
Nobody is. It's not easy. It's a family.
It's a family. It's a family experience. So it's like we all love each other. We don't always get along per se in those senses, but we all do love each other. So it's kind of like, hey, we're gonna argue, but when push comes to shove, you know, we all got each other's backs. So.
But pushing and shoving doesn't happen too often, though. Only once in a while.
So you've done one national tour already?
Across the country, baby. No.
No. We're going on tour in July. You know, we haven't done anything national yet. We're just trying to stick, you know, make a 600-mile circumference or whatever, and just hit everywhere around there. We're not trying to go.
Where's the tour going in July?
From Boston, Nashville, and you know, through North Carolina, Virginia, Philadelphia, New York. Just keeping it local and just really hitting every place we can hit, and you know, without spending ridiculous amounts of money.
Gas is expensive.
Yeah, gas is $4 a gallon now. It's ridiculous.
It's all these factors, man. It comes into it's a weird time to be in a band, you know. But at the same time, it's a challenge and it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, definitely. It's kind of cool because you're like, you know, that frontier, that unknown area is always what, you know, people always enjoy. You know, stepping out to that unknown area. And for us, I feel like for music, it's just kind of one of those times where there's opportunities in weird places, and people are like, I don't really know what's going to happen, and it's exciting. You know, kind of be on that edge.
So, are there some other bands that you've been playing with, or some other bands you're going to be playing with this summer that you're going to be opening for?
It's a DC band. They're called Billy Woodward and the Senders. Billy Woodward and the Senders. They're great. They kind of got
It's like a Buddy Holly, Elvis-y kind of flair going on.
Upright bass, a gold top Les Paul guitar.
Their lead guy's been doing like what is it, $1 Million Quartet on Broadway, you know, so they're getting some notoriety through that avenue of him being like an actor. And we enjoy we play with them often. The Biters, who I mentioned too. They're a cool band out of Georgia. They're more like kind of Cheap Trick, Thundercats, kind of like Johnny Thunder. That's what I meant.
Thundercats. Oh.
Yeah, there's some really cool bands out there, you know. And one of the problems I feel like in music a lot of times that we're trying to change is that with bands, everybody's focusing on like, you know, how to get themselves ahead. So it's hard. It's really cool when you find somebody who's willing to like be like, all right, well, let's do this together. Let's see how together we can combine and try and create a scene, a community, which is what we're trying to foster. Because you know, everybody's more powerful as a group than as an individual, and that individual being a band in this case. You know,
we're going down to New York City, and we're living here. You know, obviously, if we meet a band down there, we play a show with them, we like it, they like us, and we'll say, all right, well, y'all come to our town, we'll get you a show, you know, maybe on this stage or whatever, and then, you know, they'll say, okay, sure, we'll do that, and in return, we'll give you a show here with us, and then that's how, you know, that's how it starts. We'll share fans. You're not stealing fans, unless you don't like the band, then you try to steal their fans.
When you're starting out, there's a sense of competition, obviously, because, you know, you're trying to play to the same audience and trying to play the best show that you can. So But as you develop, I think that there's your style kind of becomes individualized a little bit, so people aren't necessarily competitive, and you become more camaraderie because it's like, oh, they do their thing, we do a little bit different thing, and we can play together and not have it be like, oh, well.
People are going to come out and enjoy the whole show. It's not just like,
That's the most fun when you can put together a bill that's like good, bands that you like that fit together, but a little different, but from the start to the finish, nobody's.
If they like that kind of music, they're going to be like, oh man, every band on this lineup is awesome. We're going to come see every single band. We're going to enjoy every single minute of it. That's part of the journey that we're taking, and we're finding those. Billy might be one of those bands for us, but it's kind of fun, and they shape your maybe subconsciously you may not realize it, but you kind of once you get that going, it kind of shapes what it is that you do, and it becomes like this
Hey, take a
little.
It seems to be working with our music is that we'll play these shows, and if it's an all ages show, you'll get kids who are like. People will bring their kids. You'll have 3-year-olds dancing in the middle of the floor, and then in the corner over there will be some 90-year-old woman who's like doing as much as she can. I mean, it's like from the gauntlet. They love it. At least it seems to be that way. We played a show as New Year's with a guy named Bobby Parker, who's like he's a DC blues man from like way back when.
The legend, yeah. He played with Jimmy Page. The Beatles stole licks from Left Behind.
But it's close. It's close by. I mean, where else are we going to find an old blues man who's going to play with us?
How did you hook up with him?
Through a mutual friend who was putting together a kind of a speakeasy in a local warehouse as a plastic shop, and they put on these great shows. And they had like at this particular show they had a bird cage, like a giant bird cage that was meant for women to dance in, but ended up being where a lot of the parents would put their kids. So there's like. It was really uncomfortable. There's like 5 little kids
trapped in a.
No need for a babysitter.
So much fun running around in circles in it.
You think?
God,
they get like 500 people come out to these shows in this warehouse, and those were fun times. We're trying to get somebody to do something like that again. But
Bobby Parker's walking around with his flying V guitar. He's got the cordless thing, so he's walking around the whole room playing.
Our music video's coming out, and hopefully another month we're doing Saltwater Jackie, so keep an eye out for that. And we should have a new EP out in the next couple months, hopefully. Keep the new music pumping.